Hey guys, what's up? Hope you had a good day in the market. Do a little recap here, starting with deciphering Ryan Cohen's Twitter, and this guy's. I'm starting to correlate different things. I don't know if these are just. I haven't used Twitter a whole lot until I started this YouTube. But anyways, I don't know if these are his only tweets, the only ones he left up. I mean, deleted all the other ones, but basically he hardly ever tweets out anything, at least more recently. This is January 17th. This one's February 24th, and this one's today. So on January 17th, he says, "So you're telling me there's a chance?" If you guys don't know this movie, you're young, which is nice. You've got a lot more life ahead of you. Let's look at GameStop on January 17th. Interesting what's going on back here. I'm gonna look at the hourly charts. You can get kind of the picture I got. GameStop's looking good today. Also, we'll go over that in a second. But see, so here we have 25th, 5th, 26th, 7th, 17th. I was looking at it on the daily. It's so confusing. I go to the hourly, then I move all my markers. January 17th, 14, 15. So it was over this weekend from the 15th to the 19th, right? Okay. Then what happened after that? 20th, one day. 2 days after that, it started running. So it wasn't this day, it was 2 days after that. Had that first big bump. 38 up to 43. And then this day is when it started to get crazy. 40 up to 60. And after hours that day was nuts. It's up in the hundreds. It's 90. Okay. So 2 days after that tweet, GameStop went crazy. This one seems, I mean, it's pretty basic to understand that one, I think, unless I'm missing something. I'm not sure. There's a bunch of speculation behind all these. This one originally was the MACD indicator, and it's froggy. And then someone said, which I wasn't too keen on that one. I was like, I don't think it's technicals. But then someone more recently was saying it's the SLGG ticker, the esports gaming, because whatever, you can look into that. I've tweeted about it. But on this day, the 24th, the ice cream. It didn't cause SLGG to go to that day because no one thought of that correlation. That was this day. That day? No, February 24th. Yeah, this day. That's what I thought. So when he tweeted that, GameStop, I think it already rallied up quite a bit. It was 12:30. It was already having like a 8 to 10% day, so it was pretty good, and then it was kind of flattening out, setting up a bull flag. We see the, I don't even think we can see the details, but yeah, basically tweeted that this day, and then GameStop went crazy. So that was this last bump up to 200, and then kind of held this range for that day. 140 had a big range, 180, and low was 105. And it's kind of held up since then, really. Like, we're thinking, oh, this isn't good, like GameStop needs to go. GameStop has gone. It's just gone very slowly. It's come down and it's held support in this $100 range and slowly kind of climbed up. So I mean, this is super good as far as squeezing shorts and gamma squeezes and any kind of squeeze you're looking for, because come tomorrow, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to be covering stuff, either producing shares for exercised option contracts or covering shorts. However, let's look at this last tweet. This one, I haven't gotten a clear picture yet of I understand. So it's the pets.com. This was, during the .com bubble, I think. This company went bust. And Chewy is basically the same type of company as this. I can't remember what I read about it, but basically Chewy did the dog food delivery, and it worked really well, and it's a very successful, huge company. And I don't know what this means yet, honestly. I don't know if this is just him saying that this was an awful company and he's done so much better with it, when they were comparing Chewy to Pets.com. But at any rate, he tweeted that. It says 1:30 or 1 hour. It was more than an hour. Oh, there you go, 2:19. Okay, you see the 1:50. 2 o'clock. Yeah, this one definitely sent it up, I think. Well, no, this was like 20 minutes after he tweeted this, it started running. But I think this was correlated. This, maybe not. This, I think, was correlated because this was right after. That was 2:19. And if you're looking on here, here's 1:30. 1:30, that's 2:30. So look on the 5-minute chart. Technical analysis on tweets. 2:20, 2:25, yeah, 2:30. It started going at 2:30. He tweeted, it was like 10 minutes after this, 2:19. So this caused some sort of excitement. Things shot up like crazy. I was like, wow, this is the beginning. And it could be. It could be. So another thing that's bullish for GameStop is Powell basically saying, giving uncertainty. I'm not great with macro or microeconomics, so don't quote me, but from my understanding, interest rates are basically going to be rising, and they've risen some yet, but there's basically fear in the market about it rising more. Basically, bond yields go up, the market will go down, and but what happens with that when that happens? I retweeted this guy. Beautiful volatility we saw just now at GameStop and AMC is when a prime broker recalls shares from a client. Example, hedge funds, the client isn't able to deliver, and so those shares are bought open market. Sprinkling a dash of catalyst and a pinch of FOMO chasing. That's kind of it. So this raising bond yields means hedge funds have to pay more in interest to borrow stocks, and they're doing a fire sale to cover bets. So Powell, basically, what he was saying today is bearish for the market. He was talking right here. Here's the SPY, and the market sold off since then. But it's kind of bullish for GameStop in relation to hedge funds having to pay much more interest. So market rotating into value and correcting all over value tech and hype stocks, creating a lot of volatility. Could be catalyst for margin requirements to change and cause shorts to have to cover. That's the thing, the margin requirements changing. Shared it here too. These are all kind of different ways to say the same thing. Guess what yield spiking means? Leverage and margin requirements change based on, among other things, volatility. Yield spiking shifts such massive portions of market valuations. This is where you have all these stocks that are way overvalued. Basically, all these hype stocks that have just been running on people getting into a momentum. Margin calls and rebalances on longs and shorts everywhere, including GameStop shorts. This was Wall Street Bets Weapon X reject user. So yeah, the March 19th date and everything for GameStop, that could still be a thing. I'm not trying to put a specific date on it. Tomorrow we might see a gamma squeeze followed by a short squeeze coming on Monday. It's hard to know. I feel like with how well this stock is held up at these prices, tomorrow I think we should see a lot of price action. Looking at the technical analysis, it's climbed up, it's stayed bullish, it's looked good. It's been consolidating, but it's been an upward trend. And even here, like, it hasn't broken new highs, but the lows have been coming higher, so higher lows. So it's kind of like a wedge type thing. So if you drew a line from here to there, and then the top is kind of more flat, but if you do it from these lines, you can see that's that line, and this is down here. So it's been doing a wedge. That's a bullish signal. And then today, when he tweeted that, and it launched up to 147, so it broke this resistance of 134, and then it broke that resistance of 143, broke both those quickly. I'm kind of expecting after hours today and pre-market tomorrow for this thing to go a little crazy. I'm hoping. Next resistance basically is what, 184. what we have on here. 43. Yeah, broke that one. So now 184, which is the top of that other day. So we'll see. I picked up a couple little YOLO calls. They were so cheap right here. So basically 800 calls tomorrow. I don't know if it's possible for it to even go that high that quickly. I mean, it is possible, but highly unlikely. But at any rate, if it's climbing really quickly, these will gain in value. It's kind of an average down. I got 5 of them. They only cost what, 19 cents a piece. So I bought them. I didn't buy them when it was spiking, thankfully, because they probably cost like 30 cents a piece. Then spiked here, it came down. I bought them around here actually. So we'll see what happens with that. Basically, I just averaged down on them because I already had some 800 calls for Friday. Still down. Now it says I'm down 96% on them. They only cost 8 cents. But this happens once the trading day closes. Just because you can't trade options after hours. So we've got the 200 calls for Friday also. These were up 14,000% at one point. And I didn't sell. I diamond handed too hard. But anyways, then we've got calls for next week. Look, now these are positive. Remember how I was scaling into these this week on dips? Because it's in a bullish trend, then you can scale in on dips. And I did. And look, just from a little bit of movement today, 800 calls for next Friday are already up a little bit, which is kind of crazy. I've only got 2 of them. They were kind of expensive though. Not terrible. Anyways, that's our GameStop thesis for tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow I think could be. I don't think there might be short ladder attacks. There might be crazy stuff going on. Trying to get, I don't know, trying to get on the short sale restriction list for Monday. The market tanks. GameStop could go with it, but I was noticing today, and I also tweeted this. If you noticed, look at this. GameStop really didn't follow the market today. It was kind of in the beginning of the day, kind of doing the same move, and then GameStop kind of just held in this range while the market sold off. So this was 12.15. This is 12.15 right here. So if you see, market's selling off. S&P. This is SPY's ETF of the S&P 500, which is the biggest, basically market cap companies. So yeah, if you see that, the GameStop held up, which is a very good sign as the market sold off. And this is a big move on S&P in a day. It was like over 2%, so that's pretty large. And then it had this, so I think it might be good tomorrow. So that's why I bought some calls. See what happens. What else did we do? Our cover call on Airbnb, of course, is doing well, and that will be expired tomorrow, worthless, and we'll collect that premium 282, which is nice. It's hard when you have huge swings, make a lot of money, tens and 15s of thousands of dollars, and then to just settle it down and get back to earth and be happy with $260 covered call that expires worthless. And that's kind of what you have to do. And so I'm trying to bring myself back down to earth a little bit, just to make these small little base hits, small good decisions on stuff. So we talked about GameStop. Rocket, I don't have quite the conviction of GameStop. My dates were wrong. I thought ex-dividend was tomorrow. It's actually Tuesday. Let's see. Actually Monday. So I think market close Monday basically is it. So that kind of changes everything for me, and I wish I had realized that earlier, because I would have probably sold some of my Rocket calls expiring Friday, back when Rocket was way high, because I thought we only had 2 days left. I thought this thing's going to keep going till ex-dividend, and not to say I would have, but I might have changed my narrative a little bit. Anyways, it's not looking good. I mean, it's come so much further down now. It's at $26, so it's basically back in its range. I mean, it's a little higher than where it was. 22 is kind of after earnings level. 26 is kind of this level's kind of holding support. 24 might come down a little bit more to 24. You see the tops of these are 22, 24. So we have support back here at 24, and it's at 26. So it might come down a couple more bucks. Just to get back to its range where it was, if nothing else happens. And it might even come down more just because if the market kind of keeps coming down tomorrow, it could pull it down with it. However, there is an ex-dividend, and this isn't a small amount for dividend, $1.11 per share. That does expire Monday, so I think tomorrow and Monday, something still could happen with Rocket. As far as shorts covering, I don't think this was enough of a move for 40% of the shares float to be covered. I don't think that was enough. I don't know. This one, this one's a tough one for me. So we'll see. Of course, my calls on this are sometimes when you just, a good thing I try not to do is be greedy. And we were doing really well on it, and if basically we'd be net positive quite a bit if I wasn't trying to get too greedy on it. I should have gotten out a different time. Should have gotten out earlier, but oh well. We've got these debit spreads, so these actually have some pretty good value still. Max gain on these is 1100, so this basically covered my calls. The only thing that, so I double dipped after it went up. I was buying more, and that's where we're going to take a little loss on this play. But yeah, we still got exposure for this Friday right here on, let's see, this one, and then we've got exposure for next Friday's calls. So we'll see what happens with that. And then I'm long on Rocket just on shares, and I'm not selling these. These aren't for swing trade or anything. So I like the Rocket. CCIV came up a little bit today. Yeah, not bad. Everything's selling off. All my calls are probably gonna expire worthless. Corsair, I'm beyond call. That was on that news. Beyond's gonna be sold in Costco, but no one cares, I guess. I don't know. Bad time to have bullish plays. Corsair is getting cheaper and cheaper, and I'm liking it. Ooh, is that the bottom today? Might be. Might be. If the market is aggressively selling off, it brings pretty much everything with it. So this won't be the bottom if market continues to sell off aggressively, or if it sells off more aggressive. If market kind of slowly sells off, then some stocks can kind of diverge from the market. But this one, Corsair, I'm long on with shares. Kind of bought some calls yesterday on it. I'd get more shares on it today, but not much capital anymore in my long term to buy. And these growth stocks and kind of hype stocks, this one's kind of one, but I'm still long on it. But anyways, these might be in a downward pattern for a bit. I mean, on the daily chart, this doesn't look very good. Looks pretty bearish. However, this is a nice long tail, so that's kind of a sign of a reversal. Nice long doji. See if it happens. See if it holds support where it's at. Today looks like this could have maybe been the bottom. It might kind of trade in this range for a while. And I'll be getting more shares of that. I'd like to get up to 100 shares. We've got these calls. So I've got, let's see, 8 of these $60 calls for, yeah, May 21st. Got a lot of time on it. This covers next earnings. And yeah, it's $1,200, so it's more than I usually spend on options. I usually spend a little bit on options because when you buy an option, you're pretty much just saying goodbye to your money. So most options don't pan out. That's why I don't spend much on them. However, this is I have pretty strong conviction on Corsair. So then I've got this put credit spread that I don't know. Corsair's got to close above 40 in 15 days, which is going to come quick, especially after this weekend. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, if you're looking for long-term shares, Corsair, it's getting to a pretty nice price target. You could wait till a full-on reversal confirmation shows, or you could start scaling in now. I don't know. This looks like a nice, I mean, $31. That looks like a nice price to me. Yeah. And let's see, ACI. Yeah, pretty much all my other shares are selling off. Tried to get out of some stuff. SLGG, I don't really want to talk about it. I'm just like fine with it. So hopefully you guys are making money on this one. I made money on it just a little bit, but basically here I was like, I decided to close it because I just wanted to get some capital. That was my only thing green on this account, this Webull account. I'm like, I think the market's going to sell off, and so like this will go with it. This continued to run today, so I think the news with GameStop is kind of just marinating. This has a ton of potential just on that news because it's such a small market cap that if Wall Street Bets, I think Wall Street Bets actually banned posting penny stock tickers because it just makes it too insane because small market cap, I mean, it'll go so volatile. I think that's the case. I can't remember if that's true or not. For this reason, like this didn't even really make any news, but just a little bit, and it's going crazy. So I sold out here, and then I said I'm not going to chase it, and I did a little bit. I gave into FOMO. Awful. Bought it somewhere around right here, somewhere. Then I sold it. I was like, stop, I shouldn't do it. So I got back out, and unfortunately I probably won't play this anymore, even if it's a good play. We'll see. Maybe I'll look into it more for the long term. If there's news on it, with legitimate news on it with GameStop, then I might add to long term. But I'd rather be late than wrong, especially with the long term. I mean, swing trading, yeah, whatever. So that's SSLG, SLGG. Long term today, honestly, is not. I mean, it's down 1,300, but not terrible. These rocket calls were up for a bit, and then they're coming back down. Tesla's selling off still holding it. You know, there's a long-term account, so you don't sell stuff in here. You just buy more, unless something fundamentally changes. If you just sell when it's red and you're getting scared, you should never bought it in the first place. Unless you're just trying to go for a swing trade, trying to go long-term account, trying to own the company, then you buy based on what you know and what you believe, and then unless if that changes what you believe about the company because they changed something, then nothing else changes. So that's just trading on emotion, and you don't want to do that. Basically, if you buy a house for $100,000 because you like it and you think it's worth that, and then someone the next day comes to you and says, "Oh, I'll give you $50,000 for it," you go and sell it and say, "Oh, it's not worth $100,000 anymore. Someone offered me 50." No, you don't do that. And that's the same thing with stock market and with companies and tickers. Say I bought GameStop for $100 a share. I'm like, I love this company, $100, and then it goes down to 50. And I'm like, oh no, someone's offering me $50. That means it's worth 50 then, or is it worth whatever you think it's worth, and you want to own it? So that's where you say, great, you think it's worth 50, I think it's worth more, I'm gonna hold it. A little analogy. Shout out to Colt, all his little phrases. And that's all I got for you guys. This video is way too long, but I've got a lot more, but I won't share it at this point. We'll see what happens with GME tomorrow. Rocket, I don't know, we'll see. And market, I did SPY credit spreads, and I closed out of those. I got scared kind of on, so since I'm in bearish mode now, it's a little late because I've got all my capital out, but that's okay. Basically, when SPY bounces, I'm going to be opening up call credit spreads, which is a bearish play to make money off of the downward trajectory. And today I was thinking there's a double down day on SPY. It should bounce tomorrow. So I did a put credit spread, which is bullish, expires tomorrow, so I can trade it literally each day. But then I got scared because it got really low, and then this is setting up a bear flag. So I could be wrong. I just wasn't as confident. It still could bounce tomorrow a little bit, but with the bear flag, I was like, I'll get out. So I got out with a little bit of a gain, but I'm more confident on call credit spreads on the bounces like this day. It has this big bounce, but it's not breaking a trend. It's not making new highs. You know, that's just adding confirmation to this trend going down, because then it starts going down here, and they're like, okay, it didn't break new highs. It's still lower highs. So then do a call credit spread there and let it go down. So on the bounces here and here, do the call credit spreads or puts or whatever you're gonna do. Whatever, that's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, so I was saying I'll play it this way on the little bounce going up and the bounce going. I'll be patient. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. Follow us on Twitter / or at Happy Money YT. Peace out.